everyone. In this video, we are going to look at the POS default invoice feature in Odoo. This feature is useful when you want to generate an invoice automatically for POS order. Normally, the cashier needs to manually enable the invoice option during the payment. With this feature, the invoice button is selected by default, so when the order is validated, the invoice is generated automatically. Let's go to the point of sale application. Open the configuration menu and open the POS settings where you want to enable the automatic invoice. Here we can see the settings called enable POS default invoice. First, let us keep this option unticked and save the configuration. Now open the POS session, add a product to the cart and select the customer. Now click the payment. On the payment screen, the invoice option is not selected automatically. This means the cashier must select the invoice option manually if an invoice is required. Now let us enable the module setting. So again go in the settings and enable the POS default invoice feature and save the settings. Now open the POS session again. Add a new product in the cart, select the customer and click the payment. This time the invoice button is selected by default. Now choose the payment method and validate the order. Yes, if you want to disable the invoice, then also you can disable it, and if you want to not disable and you have to create, then no need to disable the invoice button. But by default, if settings is enabled, the invoice button is selected by default. Now validate the order. So it will create the POS order as well as invoice of that POS order. Let's see that order. So go in the backend and select the order which you create. You can see that invoice of that order is also created. The invoice contains the customer detail, product, quantity, tax and total amount from the POS order. This confirms that when enable POS default invoice is active, the invoice is generated automatically from the POS order without manually selecting the invoice option each time. Now, if the admin does not want invoice to be generated automatically, they can go back to the POS setting and untick the enable POS default invoice option. After saving, the POS will work normally and the cashier can manually select the invoice option only when required. So, this is how the default invoice feature works in Odoo. The admin can enable the default invoice option in POS configuration and Odoo will automatically select the invoice button during payment. This saves the time, reduces the manual steps and ensure invoices are generated constantly for POS order.